Hi, Death. Good job on getting first, dude. Thank you for your daily text, Joe. Ah, hi, Devi. How y'all doing? We do unfortunately have ads coming in, but I think the majority of you are subbed, right? Question mark? Hmm. Yeah, a bit of a late start today. Well, I wouldn't say a bit, but hang on. I just got to change some shit around. Which I probably should have done off stream, but don't worry about it. Right, sorry about that. Pretty late with it almost being the next day for me. Yeah, it already is like the 19th over here. Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by either way, Death. Hope you had a good day today. I'll get started whenever we're back from ads. Oh shit. Just a quick thing. I just wanted to shout out Sky, because Sky's doing a it's not really a subathon, but a something-a-thon. And you should go definitely check them out while they're doing that. Because Sky is a W artist, W person. You should definitely check them out. They are streaming right now, and I don't know how long they're going to be going for. Ow, my hand. All right, we should be back from ads in like 2 seconds here. Let me know if I need to switch anything on volume and stuff. Please and thank you. Hey. Oof, 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 oof. One sec. I was losing so many frames there. Jesus. What is inhaling my shit again? Hi, Cookie. You doing okay? My ears. No. No. Damn it. Did this work? Yes. Oh, my ears. Okay, enough. Do I still have Lego Batman partner when I can afford it? I mean, up to you. Because I was looking at it and I saw that it is only offline co-op, so we have to like remote play it. I don't know how well that's gonna turn out, but I hope it's okay. I can't. Damn it. I can only have. You know what? I'm gonna do this, and then do this. Boosh. Fixed. Because I would love to play that with you, Cookie, if you would still like to play. It's coming out in like what, 4 days? Didn't think there'd be any other way to play Lego. Yeah, I agree. I don't think they've ever done an online one other than that Lego party game. I mean, I can afford it, but the problem is, will your ping be able to connect all the way here, dude? It's gonna be bad. um, but yeah, I don't mind having a high ping since I'm used to it. What if I give you the money, Cookie? I wish there was a way to gift it on PlayStation because I reckon you'd probably want to. Hi Twitch, thank you for following your daily tax. I think you'd rather play it on PlayStation. No. I mean, if all else fails, I'm sure you could probably. I want to get the legacy version, so I want to save for it. There's a legacy version. Wait, what's the difference? Batman. Ew. Wait. No, do you mean like the deluxe edition? So you get to play early? Extra content and character outfits, though. Cookie. That's completely fair, though. 90 dar? That's a lot of dar. That is a lot of dollar. Understandable. You can play Joker and Harley. Okay, that's fair. That is completely fair. Do I not have another version of this map? One that isn't fucking impossible to play. 7 and cause mayhem. That does sound like fun, to be completely fair. Cookie, would you like TT yesterday? Actually, fuck it. You know what? We ball. Because I've been meaning to buy that one asset you showed me a while back. Might as well do it now. Use my fingers up 150 Twitch. Thank you, dude. Really appreciate that. I miss TTS lots. The cat speaker asset, that's the one. I've been meaning to buy it, just been forgetting to. Ah, damn it, Devi. I am now bald. I have ears though, so I can still hear you. Oh, you know what'd be really cool? if whenever the redeem for take 130 stream streak from Cookie, Jesus. Bald points and laughs. Dude, I saw that art that Sky made of you. It looks fucking sick. WR to Sky. Also, has Sky added any more time to her timer? No point in keep chanting bald. Bald, 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 bald. Bill Nye the Science Bald. Bald, bald, bald. One sec, because I gotta like find my wish list on here. It's somewhere here. Might take a bit to set up, but you know, does it feel nice and smooth? Smack the egg. Oh, I need to add that as a fucking redeem. The dude who like smacks car. This thing can fit so many Osu in it. Hi Maple, how you doing? Good to see you, Maple. Ah, my ears. Hi. Wait, no. Did I already? Wow, like my brain. I am so scatterbrained. Feeling good. Just got off Subnautica 2. Oh, how are you enjoying that game? I still need to finish the first one and the DLC. Pardon me. But I'm too scared. That game scares me. Anything like that has to do with like the really 6 7 6 6 7. I fixed the 6 7. I found out there were actually toggles for this thing. Oh my god, speaking of 6 7, did you guys see the Pope doing the 6 7? That was interesting to see. What'd you say? I love it. Now I need you to sacrifice to the Leviathans because I'm not going into the deep water without a body to throw at it. That's how exactly I feel about the first game. The Pope did 6 7. Why? Because like he was walking down like he was walking down somewhere and like a bunch of kids were like Pope, and then it was like watch do this, and they did the 6 7 motion, and you know obviously he had no idea what it meant. He's just like, okay, I'll do it. That means as soon as you get it, I'm joining you. It might be a while. I really want to finish like the first couple of games, but I am such a fucking pussy. Just like a Squidward dab meme, basically. Hold up, this is a this cat is a VTS model. Eh? Whoa! Hold up. Hey, we know that's why Baby Steps has been missing. Oh, interesting. Oh, this is a VTS model. I couldn't. Interesting. I just need to find a way or figure out how to implement it with the TTS. I got to think about this. You didn't know? I thought it was obvious. I thought it was just like a PNG. I didn't realize it was a whole VTS asset. This complicates things, but it also does open up a bunch of avenues for me. But let's try and figure this out first. Speaker cat. Speaker cat. Cause can I not just have this as a fucking I mean, I literally could just have it. Yeah, I'm gonna try and figure that out later on. But I kind of want to see if I can add this as an item. That'd be great. But I have very low hopes for that. Because the way the folder is set up, it looks like it is an actual, like, model. But we shall try either way. Let's give this a shot. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can have it as an item. But it also goes off of my stuff. No. It's talking like me. Oh. Because it's capturing my face. But it looks kind of cute. I guess if I'm feeling like... if the model is slowing down and stuff. It actually looks where I'm looking. It is really cute. One moment. Let me read the instructions here for it. Well, I can figure this shit out. Wait. Wait, I can change the color of it? It's gonna toggle a bunch of my shit, but... Calico? I want it to be like a calico. Turn on... Tron. What's this one do? You can make it dance. Is there any way for me to turn off like the tracking for it? That would be nice. Live 2D settings, maybe. No. How would I... Oh, I can set it up so that the TS does come out of it, but like it activates through like via TTS, but the problem is it's also being... it's capturing like what it sees on my camera, which I need to figure out how to stop that. Enjoy your alert, Joe. Hello, ma'am. Oh, it's you, Soren. Hey, dude. I see that. Sorry. Hi, sorry. Hi, chef. Sorry. Parameters, Soren. Help me, Cookie. Bitch, look at us. I'm sorry. I got so distracted. Change the parameter so it doesn't track your map. You're smart. You're so fucking smart. You're so fucking smart. I just need to have like this over here. Sorry. Maybe it would be this one, right? Yes, I think I got it. No, I didn't. Fuck. Parameters. Wait, I need to fix it. Ah, god damn it. Flab nabbit. I just googled it, Yagoober. The problem is I need to unload my model and then load this in. Right? Or am I being dumb? Hmm. I think I'm being fucking dumb. Oh, it's also getting really hot. Hang on, let me turn my fan on. There has to be a simpler way to fucking do this. Um. Hmm. Okay, first I need to turn on TTS. Let me do that first. Because it's mouth and mouth smile says it's to change to neutral or change the input. Wait, if I do that, will it translate to the item itself, or do I need to like change the parameters and then load it back in as an item? Actually, no, I need to do that. That's exactly what I need to do. Ah, not me. My arm. Let's just remove all this shit for now, and then let me go import speaker cat into VTube Studio. Pedro. Hi, Maggie. How you doing? Saw you in recons earlier. Hope you were having fun in there. My ears. Oh wait, no, you redeemed it. Fuck. Speaker cat. Hi. Hi. Mao. What cat do we like? I can't. It's too cute. It's so cute, dude. Mao. Mao. Hi, Mint. Mao. Do we like this one? Uh, it has glasses. Nice, dude. Hell yeah. I like them all. I like the calico one the best, I think. Oh my god, no. I hate that one. It has a hat. It has blush. The tail, yeah. It also has a mic. Yow. I can't rap. Let's make the speaker like a real Marshall amp. I mean, what Marshall amp? I think the only thing I need to try and do now is see if it'll work with TTS. Oh, thank you for following your daily taxes there, Cookie. Mam. And change the parameters. Yes. Will do. So what do I need to change, Cookie? The just the mouth? Or is it just like everything really? Ma. Let me scroll up actually. What did you say about the because it's mouth open and mouse smile, it says change to neutral or change the input. Mouse smile and mouth open, change to neutral, or what if I just get rid of that? What if I just get rid of the mouth open? I could just change the input, right? And then change it into... Okay, I just changed the parameter for it to like nothing. But then cat no talk with TTS. Meow. Well, hang on. Let me just check if this works. You could also leave the mouse smile. Okay, one sec. Let me turn on TTS for now and see what I can fuck around with. So he's happy when you're happy? That would be kind of cute. One moment. Where is my TTS? I swear I've streamed before, guys. I swear. And SpeakerBot. You're gonna have to try and see if it works, Cookie. Please and thank you. I'll let you know when it's up. It's up. Please try. Because I don't know how to test it myself. Someone type, please. And thank you. My god, it does work. But I wish it did the thing. Can you try again, Cookie?
Chappy 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 chappy. Chappy 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 chappy. Chappy 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 chappy. Chappy 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 chappy
does
chappy
work?
chappy 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 chappy.
Why is there a pause? Yeah, sometimes the TTS breaks. Don't worry about it. Hang on. Let me just change the mouse.
It doesn't bounce when it speaks.
No, it's just coming from the speaker.
Noise.
One sec. Mouse smile. Me. But then I want to see if I can get it to... Alright, can somebody type again? I want to see if like the mouth will open when it detects volume. Wait for it. It does open!
Chappy 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 chappy.
Okay, I figured it out.
Go. Kendo go.
Okay. I just need to export this as an item now, and then I can swap back to my model.
Kendo go. Kendo go.
Also, that is not what you typed in.
Kendo go. Kendo go. Fuck yes.
TTS already broken. It doesn't take any time for you guys to break it.
Oh, gee, what's this?
I wish there was a way to get it to
TTS already broken.
Go off the lip sync.
I am proud of you for getting a cat to work.
It's so cute. Hi. I forgot you can do that, Maple.
IXANNNOT.
Would anyone be familiar? Oh, Thank you for the 35 stream streak, Maple.
G-Bus.
I'm trying to remember how to export a model as an item. I just don't remember how.
Ah,
Ah.
ah,
Uh-oh.
ah, ah.
Item settings. Load current model as a live 2D item. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is fine. And then let me change it to Calico. Hang on. This is fine. Boosh. I can turn him into a black cat. And then what was it for the speaker? That one.
Finally,
Oh.
I can be a chaotic mess.
I like the Calico. And then I'll load my model back in. And then I can just put him on top of my head.
In stereo, aerial.
Chaotic cat screams.
It works! It works! I'll just put it on top of my head. And this way, like, it's not just a static
Thank
thing
you.
anymore. No, don't hit the cat. Why you do this?
YAYAYAYAYAY.
Thank you, Joe. Alright, now we can actually get back to Osu.
WTG Soen.
Can
Can
OG cats
OG
be...
cats be added as emotes in Discord?
Sure. I do like the idea that, like, it looks where I'm looking too.
Should have put us up here, Buzzy Boy, soaring for the tuples.
Huh? Should have put us up here, pussy boy. Jesus Christ, Maple. It is a bit of an extra load on the PC, but it's not too much. I've definitely had worse.
Bussy Boy is wild.
You've had something you wanted to try? Uh-oh. What? What?
Oh, MG, I have had something I wanted to try.
Worse? Extra loads?
Worse extra loads.
Yeah, just cause my PC is shit is really the only problem. Hang on, I've got a bunch of fucking windows to close.
Prepare for trouble and make it double to protect the world from devastation to unadult peoples within our nation.
Are you gonna do the entire Team Rocket spiel? Wait, Mike. Someone take my... Damn it! I gotta change the fucking...
Baby!
Damn it! Well, I guess I won't have ears. Either way, it's fine.
Turn off toggles for cat changing color.
Yeah, I definitely gotta do that. Can I do that while it's an item?
Yes,
I can.
I'm pretty sure.
You are 100% correct. Wait. No, you can't. Fuck! Global item settings. You know what? I'll fix it later. It's fine for now. I'll just change the hotkey for my ears for now. And go from there. I can fucking find my ears. I do love how I just have a toggle called bald.
To denounce the evils of truth and love, to extend our reach to the stars above. Jesse, James?
Chat cat exists. That's all that matters.
I know, I agree. Fuck me. I forgot that expression exists too.
We are.
There.
No
Fixed.
torture.
Now torture. It's not even Tuesday. Come on.
Chappy 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 chappy. You were not here last Tuesday.
I'm sorry, Cat.
Team Rocket blast up to the speed of light. Surrender now or prepare to fight. Youth, that's right.
Youth.
YA YYY A
Youth. I'm glad it works.
Youth fish.
What was that? Also, Cookie, I am not doing baby steps with mods. Base game alone is enough torture. Mute, bitch.
One fish, two fish. Red fish, blue fish. I'm breaking up with that fish.
It's kind of quiet.
Wait, this song? Here, I downloaded after you played it here.
It's a good song.
Wow!
Oh my god.
Quite chill. Maple,
What
don't
the
scream
fuck,
when the
Maple?
thunder goes off. That is scary.
Bob!
Maple's just finding newer and newer ways to break the TTS. Well, just SpongeBob. Ah! What the fuck?
Pau. We are the cutest chat. Cat here.
I thought I'd all potty tat.
Yawn.
Soaring, is there a way for the eyes to be tracked by mouse?
There might be, actually.
With an eye tracker, maybe?
No, just like with the mouse, because that way it's not just following where I'm looking. It'll actually just be tracking where my mouse is going. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be a good idea. Let me see if I can find that parameter, else I fucked up that map so bad.
Skill issues, Soren. Not as bad as your friggin' driving.
That's just plain true. Let's see here.
We all hope H's flying is better.
Hmm? Oh, my flying.
Hack, I meant flying.
No, I got you. I'd have to load in the model again and then change it there and then It's fine.
I'm on to talk. Mrs. Puff wearing me out like a good with all the crashing.
I exist as a mareau.
As a Mariao. I don't remember the toggle for... Is it this? Yeah, it was. And then color was this. But I also kind of like the black cat.
Also, while here change toggles and make it load in as calico every time.
Yeah, I need to do that. Okay, dude. Holy shit. Save active expressions
Or
and
black, whichever one you want.
input would be hand
Go.
controller.
Bujo.
Wait, what did Joe say? Boo. Unfortunately it doesn't seem like there... Oh! Wait, no there is.
Oh, woohoo!
Yep. It'll only be on my main screen though, so if my mouse goes onto my other monitor, it's gone. But that's fine. That's
Track
fine.
that mouse chat. Catto.
It's like a, little laser. Then I think I just need to change that, and then
I was trying to scared Soren.
I'll turn off the different toggles for now. I'll just turn them off just so I don't like accidentally toggle
He's
them.
making us look silly.
Shut up.
Say it again with feeling, Joe.
Then load current model is a 2D item. Okay, save. Okay, and then let me
Dodo.
swap to my boy.
Yes.
Maple, we look gacking adorable.
There. Should be good now. At least I hope it is.
Now play that crazy music, Catboy.
Plays that funky music, cat boy. What the fuck? Thank you for the help there, Cookie. Oh, he took off the jacket.
He took off the jacket, biting lip.
I can put it back on.
I'm ready.
I like the jacket off. It's fucking hot. Of course, my fucking vape dies.
Thank you for making us exist. So cutely, you did good with this.
No, it was all your idea. You were the one who showed me this this acid in the first place.
I might have had the idea, but you executed the idea into existence.
Wait, you didn't read Maples? I just like playing with the mouse now. But yeah, it worked out. It worked out. It worked out, Cookie. 1 sec. I gotta go grab my phone charger. It's dying.
This was a targeted attack on me, and I will be filing for divorce.
Now just to make
Just make
your
your mouse a red
mouse
dot.
red dot.
I
LOL.
don't know if I can change that. I will give it a shot though. Hang on, let's try. Is there a way for me to change the graphics on this thing? Hit lighting off, beat map skins.
No. Not the divorce. Anything but the divorce.
What are you talking about? Wait. Whoa. Did the SpongeBob voice die?
Larry, nice booty for a lobster.
Never mind, it's still alive. I guess. Does TTS SpongeBob not like talking about divorces?
Maple, are you taking us after the divorce?
I don't think I can actually change the red dot, but I think I can get like a third party, like Red Dot. Oh, 100% Maple's keeping, y'all.
You don't have to change your mouse. Right now.
No, he was practically yelling because of the divorce. He was basically an authority boy.
Mm.
But I forgot TTS has a text limiting clap.
Ah, right. Also, bad news about TTS. This might be the last month you guys will get unlimited TTS Monster. Starting next month, I won't be able to afford it. It's getting a little too expensive. Oh god, hi Snow.
I am not affected.
Nar.
Excuse me, but what?
Yeah, I think you'll only get like 1,000 messages worth of like the custom ones.
Cookie_wizard. Wish I could affect you.
Damn it, Snow. Hi, Snow. You doing okay? Ah! Hi, Maple.
Rip TTS.
It won't be completely
Sorry,
gone. It'll just
get
default
more
to
money.
TTS
Sell your
Brian.
organs.
I don't really want to sell my organs, please.
Ow!
Oh my god, Maple.
あと、スノー黄色。
Pardon
Snow
me.
look what's I made into existence. Chuck, cat new, and improved.
Oh yeah.
Ow!
I like how SpongeBob just refuses to talk normally. Will always be broken.
Spongy got problems.
SpongeBob after when he's got like a drinking problem, got anger issues.
Ay, oy, oy.
Ay oy oy.
At Cookie_wizard. Did you draw it?
At Famak, Snow 黄色 No. I found it and made Sorin get it and set it up.
Me no.
Yoimin, yoimin.
At Cookie_wizard. Oh, nice, nice. I like it. It's very fun.
Colin!
Finland?
Finland? What? What about Finland?
Mina Mina.
Mina.
Patrick was screaming about it when I was in his holes.
His house? What? Oh, his holes. I thought you said house. Also, what?
Marbury, remove your spongy nose from the poor star's hose.
Mana mana.
Why would I be in that pink stat's house? I may be a sidewalk Sully, but I have standards.
Loud as thunder, scary.
Bye, Snow. Thank you for stopping
Off
by.
to bed.
Sleep well.
Good night, Sawzeffos.
You're
アット YARO、スノー黄色グッドナイト、パパスノーワーズ。We miss YA オールドマン。
At cookie underscore wizard snouky 17-old.
You should make public appearances, like the Pope.
Talking about Snow or Tokiro.
ah, 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 ah.
The Snow Cheetah.
Why is my mouse jumping though? The Snow Cheetah. Also, why did Pop make it sound like you were gonna sneeze? What the fuck? My arm!
Dad!
Dada.
Sorry, Chat Cat likes to smack the mouse now.
Apparently.
We have gained a physical form, instead of flat PNG existence.
I do kind of miss like the bouncing whenever you guys talk though.
Zaz!
Zaz!
I wonder if there is a way to make us bouncy.
Not unless I... I'd have to like re-rig it in Live 2D and that's way too much trouble.
I may be on the perk 30s and just kidding, or am I?
An ad break is starting soon. Cerebo Love.
What is that jumping?
I will eat that friggin' thing, riffing 40 for
My mouse keeps skipping. I think it might be because there's some dirt. Maybe I need to wipe down my tablet. But I really hope it's not my pen giving out. If anything, I might need to buy a new nib for it. But I hope that's just it.
I'm snacking on licorice.
Nice, dude.
I'm watching ads.
You're watching ads. Oh. I wonder if you're getting Subway ads. I wonder if she's getting Subway ads again. Oh, god damn it, Cookie.
おっぱい、おっぱい、おっぱい、おっぱい、おっぱい、おっぱい、おっぱい、おっぱい、おっぱい、おっぱい、
Why are you yelling at me?
おっぱい、おっぱい、おっぱい、おっぱい、
You're like tits
おっ
at
ぱ
me.
い、おっぱい、おっぱい、おっぱい、おっぱい。
Oh, you got cut off there, bud.
スケアリーアド。
I'm very curious as to what ads they got. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
ハック。ジャンプスケア。This is why I hate ads.
It's waiting for ads to get back. Or be done. Yeah.
The ad break is finishing now.
One sec.
Cerebo dance.
Vape was dead. Had to go charge it. Mambo. Did you get...
ドッグフルアンサーズ。
Wait, what ads did you get that were scary? That wasn't... I'm surprised it wasn't Subway. High sound. Still choking on air. Always. That'll never change sound. Good to see you again. And thank you for the hydrate. Something about the movie coming out May 22nd, it seemed kind of true crime-ish because it was saying like a lot of people go on the road trips every year and like 15 people don't. Jesus Christ, Cookie. What fucking movie is that? Big changes on the model. Yep. I got a new model. After like what? Almost a year.
You'll find the ad, cause it had a jump scare in it.
Oh, gotcha.
Grady goose, Grady goose, Grady goose, Grady goose, Grady
the
goose,
fuck?
lay like us dance, lay like us dance, lay like us dance, lay like swag, lay like swag.
Was it called Passenger?
What the fuck, man? Hi, Recon. How was your stream, dude? Or are you still streaming? Recon's still streaming! Recon! Get back in your stream. Was it called Passenger? Let's see. Passenger movie. Also, why is my fucking... my tablet keeps fucking up now. Oh, it looks like it's Passenger. Like, my mouse keeps jumping. Hang on, let me wipe down my tablet. I don't know if... some weird shit on there.
I think so sent a link to add in decimeter.
Oh, I really hope it's not my fucking tablet dying, or at worst, it's just like my pen nib I need to fucking change. Because I really don't want to have to
It
buy
was like
new
a
fucking
30-second
tablet.
ad.
It was like a 30-second ad. Let me see. I'm curious now. Whatever happened to your Subway ads? It was Passenger. Joe was right.
I know, right?
Can you play that? Jamie Page Machine Love. Let's see. Might be
Special.
Durber. Google Booze released May 22nd. Was it a 3? Wait, what were the other 3? Anything big? I don't think I'm really looking forward to any movies coming out anytime soon. Off the top of my head, maybe like the third Dune movie, but that's not coming until like what, next year or the year after. Throughout Heaven
I
and
googled
Earth.
movies releasing May 22nd. It was one of 3, LOL.
Lay like bustendo, lay like bustendo, lay like bustendo, lay like bustendo.
Man,
When
Hang
I
on.
googled movies for May 22 the first one was Mando and Grogu.
I don't think that's what it's called, Cookie. Mando and
The other 2 were
Grogu.
Mandalorian and Grogu, and I love boosters.
That sounds like a buddy comedy. Mando and Grogu. It also sounds fake as fuck.
Yes, it is Gogurt is Mando's son.
Gogurt, lol.
Iron Lung. Oh, it's just coming out on YouTube.
Soren 42
Shit.
Cinema.
Oh, I cannot wait for Iron Lung to release on YouTube. Around like 30th. Maybe we do a watch
Oh, really?
party.
Shit. Maybe. That sounds like a good idea. Is it just me?
May
Or is
31st.
the AR a bit low? Holy shit, is that the Izuku Midoriya from Jujutsu Kaisen? Thank you for the follow, dude.
Lol.
Oh god. Yeah, from Jujutsu Kaisen. Yep, for sure. 100%. Ooh. I can read it, but my brain is lagging. It's a gimmick map after all, fair enough. Ooh, interesting map. You always send me gimmick maps? Well, every now and again you send me some gold. I still have my Kabino Kotoba type A folder. It's slowly growing. Fuck, I wish there was a good map of this song. Alright, let's see how bad my fucking streaming is. I'm gonna guess still really fucking bad. Can I just hit everything late? Why don't I? Okay.
チャットキャット is perfect.
It is.
Hey.
What the fuck? Oh. I want to switch to PC, but I don't have money for a tablet. Hi, Recon. I can hit, like, bursts, but I still can't keep consistent with streams. I just can't. Is that milk? What the fuck? That's... No, that I was gonna say, that's CC's emote, and sure enough it was.
Karimsa 730 mil, Karimsa 730 mil, Karimsa 730 mil, Karimsa 730 mil. What face?
But there should be, like, cheaper tablets out there, right, son? Because I bought mine for, like, $20, I want to say. Okay. Ah, gotcha.
Easy map, Padrosi map,
17.7K now? Holy fuck. Never mind. Damn, inflation hitting you guys hard over there. Let's try this one out.
Just ignore the problems.
So fucking... Either too late or too fucking early. Just ignore the problems. Just ignore the problems, lol.
Soren 40 to Boba, Soren 40 to Bobo.
Hi, Recon. Are you still streaming, dude?
アットマーク、サウントレンズプリーズ。
Oh, you're done. Okay, I was just double checking, dude.
No.
Please let me ignore them.
Ah, same. Honestly, same. I wish I was Malaysian or Singaporean. I'm guessing their economies are a lot better. I don't know. I dumb. Okay, no, I still have enough. I was just looking if I had enough vape liquid, and thank God I do. I wouldn't want to have to go through the day without nicotine.
Oh, you side vape.
What do you think I said?
I thought you said face liquid.
Face liquid? Ah, yes, tears. By that I mean tears.
And they thought it was an energy thing in a gacha game.
You know what? That wouldn't be the most unusual thing out of a gacha game. Thank you for the hydrate, Aster. Appreciate you.
Soren, I've arrived. Let's touch tips.
Oh, wait, I can change Aster's voice. What voice should I give Aster? It sounds like what Red Bull would do. True. Hey, don't hate on Monster, dude. Let's touch tips. Alright, if you insist. Can I watch? That's
At
only on...
Astra_Tempestus can I watch?
That's only on the blue site.
My nipple, my mama nipple, my mama nipple, my mama nipple, my...
At Joe Rockstar 24 OFCBB. You're cool as fuck. You can even join.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah. You've got the invite. You're in. What the fuck is this song?
Achievement unlocked. Reach the inner circle.
Astor Tempestus me next.
The inner circle, that's what... No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that.
Tip with Soren.
You're used to GTing that? Bruh, ain't no way. I can barely hit that shit. And you're doing that shit on DT?
At she_recon_she, you're in here too.
What? Me next? Yeah, I mean... As long as we have an even number... Actually, no, we don't even need even numbers for it. Because it could just be a giant circle. Or a square, or a triangle.
Rise, Moon 70, rise.
Whatever shape pleases you.
WHA だファック。
Don't worry about it. Oh god, I forgot I had that song.
This war grump, this war grump, this war grump, this war grump.
I almost choked brushing my teeth.
Creeper AW
How'd you do that?
Hitman. So we back in the memo he said, got our pickaxe, swinging side to side. Side to side. Chris said, pickaxe side.
Are you okay? Sorry, baby, I'll
At Joe
pull out
Rockstar 24,
after.
sorry baby, I'll pull out.
Stalk.
I don't know why you're tapping us all over the place. I'm so inconsistent, and you know that.
Creeper, man. So way back in the mine, I got our
God damn,
pickaxe
shut the
swinging
fuck-
side
okay,
to
fine.
Side to side.
Where is it?
Trying not to laugh at chat.
YAYA ゴーリーコン。
I lost it.
At
I wasn't ready.
Astor_Tempestus, don't go so deep.
Lay like Ostens, lay like Ostens.
Gotta ease it in there.
Rockstar 24.
クリーパー。
Creeper!
I immediately recognized Twitch's TTS voice.
At 11_recon_11 did I stutter?
Soren, I'm slow stroking that shit right now.
Huh?
Creeper, our man. So way back in the miner got our pickaxe swinging
my
side
God.
to side, side to side.
Asta cool your Lord Soren's not ready.
Not yet.
Twitch and Pong like what?
At Kooky_wizard, that's why it's slow strokes only.
Oh, fair play.
I am always ready.
Asta, do you stroke the EARS while also stroking it?
Twith.
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 The fuck?
You miss.
Ghost face, you missed.
Ghost face, you miss.
At Kooky_wizard mhum.
And kissing his neck.
Huh?
Ghostface, you missed.
Fucking gay.
Just a little bit.
At Kooky_wizard, more like fucking Soren, but it's the same thing TBH.
Asta, you need a voice.
Do I give Aster a voice? And if so, which one? Hang on. Let's see. What do we have available? Let's see.
Asta, any requests?
Well, there's like a bunch of the TTS
Give me
monster
the
ones.
sluttiest voice.
Okay. That's actually rough. Let me see if I can come up with one. Well, technically there is one where it's just like super sassy. Or I guess the zesty one.
@asta_.
Oh, bye Sound. Thank you for stopping by.
Tempest
Good to see you again.
I miss. シリーズ ASMR ボイス。
Do we really want to give him the ASMR voice? If so, fine. Let's see.
If Asta wishes it.
Oh, I don't have the ASMR voice enabled.
ASMR Aster works.
That does
Especially
work.
after that one stream.
Aster 8 laugh.
Yuki, thank you for the follow. That one. Oh, that stream. Yup. I mean, I'm new. Welcome in. Good to have you in here. Don't mind the TTS. That is a hell of an emote. That's amazing. Where is the ASMR voice? There. Save. Welcome, Yuki-chan.
Welcome in, Yuki-chan.
I'm gonna have to restart the TTS system in a sec here, so no voices for a bit.
Yuki, join us in worshipping TTS.
Let's not do that. Hang on, I'm restarting the TTS. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Okay, Aster, and then let's give him the ASMR. It is probably gonna scare away a lot of people when the ASMR voice kicks in. Add, and then where is Aster? There. Aster now has the ASMR voice. Enjoy.
Aster starts screaming.
Sitting on the toilet.
I live for the cringe.
Speaking of cringe.
Ah.
Ah. All right. Let's.
Day off.
What the fuck, Joe? Master should kick in here for a sec. It does take some time to process, so there is a bit of a delay.
At Cookie_Wizard and fuck fewer. Don't stop, baby. Don't stop. Be a good boy for me.
Jesus Christ.
JUDT like, what silly would done, I'm so proud.
That is exactly what Silly would have done. Lizard. 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 Oh my god. I actually know a couple people who have that soundboard. I also know a bunch of people who have it activate anytime someone types in lizard.
At Cookie_Wizard Aster Babe Plush.
It sounds different though, or is it just me?
It
No, it
sounds
sounds...
different, THO, or is it just me?
Well, there are two ASMR voices. There's ASMR, which is this one, and then the ASMR guy. Should I switch Aster to ASMR guy?
Lizard, slow stroke that for me, sorry, my good kitten.
Jesus Christ.
At Aster _
No, we're
business,
keeping
I
it to
gotta
this
go
one.
Clean up now.
The ASMR guy sounds terrible. That sounds so bad. It's not great. I don't know if I can show you guys unless I restart it, but I don't want to restart it again. Lizard. Oh my god.
Lizardo.
Lizardo.
ASMR, and
Oh, I guess it doesn't like symbols, Aster.
Aster.
Damn.
Leッチレージ。
What?
At Cookie_Wizard, yes, I mean, yes, Cookie.
アットマーク、アスターアンダーバーテンペストセクーシー I am nowhere near mommy levels.
At Cookie_Wizard, you will after I put a baby in you. That's a joke, BGW.
Diswirlicking lips, diswirlicking lips, diswirlicking lips, diswirlicking lips, diswirlicking lips, diswirlicking lips.
Wild. Also, I don't want kids.
OMG Cookie, can I break Twitch?
@アスターアンダーバーテンペストスユークッド He might like it IDK
Soin 42 Cinema.
Six, seven.
Oh my god, Cookie, I can mpreg Twitch. I was wondering what the conversation was happening over here.
6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7.
Lexit 5 colonelsis, Lexit 5 colonelsis, Lexit 5 colonelsis.
Six, seven, 6, 7. Spit on it first before using both hands.
Bad Twitch Aster MPRGH as now to teach him a lesson.
Aster Mpreg is asked now to teach him a lesson. Crazy.
School wizard, boss.
Uh-oh. What's Recon's gonna sound like?
6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6,
6,
7.
7. It sounds like... Why does Recon's voice sound like he's got a head cold?
Now Baldi is gonna teach us a lesson with HS ruler.
Baldi? Those are a lot of emotes. Wait, Milky? Why does that name sound familiar? Milky Amelia?
Pop, Felkies, pop, Felkies, pop, Felkies, pop, Felkies, pop, Felkies, pop.
Oh, right, he is Baldi!
Baldi voice.
Right, I totally forgot about that. You follow Milky?
I follow Milky.
Yeah, but the name sounds so familiar. Oh my god, this is one of Blink's maps.
Credit.
Nice emote, Recon.
Electric working turtle, electric working turtle, electric working turtle. Lerac come here, ducky, Lerac come here, ducky, Lerac come here, ducky.
How long is Soaring gonna stream?
Well, I gotta work in a couple hours, so...
Lerac to Wendy Duchess, Lerac to Wendy Duchess, Lerac to Wendy Duchess. Upribans. Dernic form, dernic form, dernic form. Electric working turtle, electric working turtle, electric working turtle. Zero Charmander, zero Popeye, zero cake it up, zero cake it up.
Fucking Blink and his goddamn sliders. That Charmander ass. How long is Soren gonna stream? I got work in like 4 hours, so anytime before then. Blink? Yeah, this is one of his maps. This was
Blink!
mapped by Doomsday is Bad, who is Blink. Yeah, my bad.
You
Doomsday is
mean
bad.
Doomsday
My bad.
is bad.
Yep. Exactly who I meant. My bad. I'm gonna wait for TTS to read that out.
Be a good boy and did an S tier for me.
I will try my best. Oh god. Okay, maybe I can't do ASMR. Ugh.
Aster is such a good boy.
Hmm. Why you poke me? Fuck.
At 11_recon_11, I'll come.
Jesus.
Damage.
Bruh, I can't hit that shit.
Lol. Lout with.
Twith.
Twith.
Bro's cooking? Was, yeah. Oh, my pen's fucking up again. You see those jumps? The fuck? My cursor keeps jumping. I think I might need a new pen nib. I lost my pen nib, like, thingies. I have to order them online.
Electric working turtle, electric working turtle, electric working turtle.
Huh. Twith.
Twith.
I keep missing that one. Are you fucking shitting me?
Licks lips?
Shut up. I hate that it tracks that. I get very dry lips. Shut up. I'm actually gonna rage out. I am actually gonna crash the fuck out.
Soren, I think you missed one.
I think so too, dude. I think so too. Lock in, lock in, lock in.
This were licking lips.
Six now 7 for a try count. Love you.
Perkson.
6 now 7 for retry count. Love you. Hi, Alora. Hope you're doing well.
Hi.
Laura, when are we gonna play Final Fantasy together? I'm still subbed. I don't know if I'm gonna resub next month, but I did have plans to start a fresh character again, but I don't know if I want to.
Are you back? Come back.
I am. I don't know. I think I still have like 15 days left on my sub.
190 scared on 190 up.
But I would like to play with more people. Like, if anything, I want to start fresh, just because, like, if anybody's actually interested, I can kind of show them how the game works. And to be fair, A Realm Reborn has one of the most boring fucking stories. Well, I don't want to say it's boring, but it is. There's a lot to get through in A Realm Reborn. Good night, Sowen. Good night, Maple. Thank you for stopping. Bye. Duo Lalafels? Bet. ARR was tough. It's always tough whenever you start a new character in ARR.
Good night, Soren for the troubles.
Heaven's Ward was peak. But I will say, I think once you... Oh. I think Shadowbringers... That would actually be pretty fun, Aster.
ARR was tough.
But yeah, let's
HW was so good.
Cause like I kind of want to set a day for like Final Fantasy every week, but I know your schedule is kind of full these next couple of weeks, right, Aster? Especially when we have Elden Ring on Fridays. If I locked in, I could get to fucking Stormblood in like a week. But that would be me like playing like 6 hours every day. And I don't think I want to do that. It'd be more of a when I can join, I will. Okay, that's fair.
When I can join, I will.
If anything, like it'll just be an excuse for you to level shit with me. Because unfortunately on my my main character, everything's at 100 now. I have nothing to do on it other than just like endgame stuff. Speaking of Final Fantasy, I still have like the dog and cat minions I've been saving for Cookie whenever she gets back into it. But I think Cookie got a little overwhelmed by the game.
That's a lock-in, all right. I can try being a healer with you, hee hee.
No, 100% Alora. If anything, if I can
join us for FF14.
If we can get at least what?
I got lost.
5 more people, we can actually have an 8-man raid.
Pixia 5 love.
And I would love that.
And
cause
why overwhelmed?
Yeah, it is very overwhelming for first-time players, and in all honesty, I should have been there to help you out some more.
63 face Paul.
I should have also... Because it's like a 50-50 thing of, like, I want you to discover shit on your own, but I also, like, don't want you to get too lost without me spoiling shit, and I'm really bad at that.
I have not done healer since Astro, so I am NOOB with heals. DPS main I am lol.
Oh yeah, same. I am a
You're
DPS
busy.
main, Unga
Plus, I've
Bunga.
been game burned out for weeks now.
Oh, that's fair. Well, you're still on the free trial, so you're always free to join back in whenever. I recommend not subbing until like you're actually sure that yeah, you know what, I'm gonna play past well, Shadowbringers now. Shadowbringers is actually one of the, I think, the best expansion
so who will
in
be
the
tank that I have to kiss ass on lol.
Also, Soren,
maybe
where is
Aster.
Ara's voice?
Did
An
Alora
ad
have a
break
voice?
is starting soon.
Oh.
Cerebo Love.
I think I did give Alora a voice. I might have changed.
I'll tend it for sure.
Yeah, there's Aster. Aster's tank main.
Skeleton 185, Skeleton, Skeleton 185, Skeleton, Skeleton 185, Skeleton.
God damn it,
SB
Aster.
story is doing great, I love this.
@
I find
XI11 _
here's my opinion on
XI11 beautiful.
It's got the weakest like main story. The in between of Stormblood and oh hi Chuba. The in between Stormblood and Shadowbringers I think is where it starts to get interesting again.
@Aster_Tempests bend over.
Also, it turns out I don't have a voice for Alora. Does anyone remember what a voice I gave
I was
Alora?
Kronk.
Wait, you were Kronk?
@Aster_
You were Kronk?
He 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 he. Kiss me cutie, Aurora.
Apparently you were Kronk. Okay.
Yup.
One moment. Alora. Rename, and where is Kronk?
Ben Pixie Alora Bend.
To be fair, I haven't heard Kronk in like fucking ages. Then where is Alora? Swap to... Oh, because I got rid of that voice. Got it. I think it was this one. Thank you for the hydrate and stretch, Chuba. Appreciate you. And we've got
Cause
ads.
the
Great
cute anime
timing.
girl voice kept going away, then it went to Kronk.
Cookie Wizard Spite Thighs.
Hi, Triple. Welcome in. I think you have the voice again. Ads, yeah, unfortunate timing. But yeah, I might start doing Final Fantasy on certain days. Maybe Wednesday. Maybe this Wednesday I'll do a Final Fantasy stream. Or maybe on the weekends might be better. Not sure just yet. Cause maybe I leave like weekends open to like collabs when I'm in the
FF Friday?
I can't do Friday. I've got Elden Ring with the boys on Friday. Wednesday I may be able to join you. Ooh, okay. Wait, I forget, what world are you on, Alora? You're on Fairy, aren't you? I'm trying to remember what data center that is, because I might have to travel to your data center for that. Data center worlds FF14. Yeah, that's why I was thinking it's safe to assume you're probably on Fairy. Yeah, you're on
Well, I
fucking
may be able to
Aether.
join you here.
Everyone else I know is on Primal. Wait, isn't...
Gay.
Kronk broke again. What the fuck?
Yes.
Yes.
I must say, what did you expect? Nah.
Ow. I can make a new account to play. You don't need to make a new account. You just need to make a new character on that specific... Well, unless you want to, Aster. Oh, okay, bye, Triple.
What?
Or is it high or buy? No, it is buy. I could make a new character on Aether. Oh, never mind. We can't. Aether, all the worlds on Aether are congested. Yeah, all the worlds on Aether are congested. The only data centers that have free slots are Dynamis and
The ad break
Primal.
is finishing now. Cerebo dance.
I'm on Primal, specifically on Lamia at the moment. That's where I'm Actually, I know Devi plays too. I just don't remember what world Devi's in. I had to scare you before bed. Thank you, Maple. Have a good sleep, dude.
Had
You're
to
in
scare you
Gilgamesh?
before bed?
I mean, it's not a huge deal. Like, it'll just suck for, like, if we ever want to make a free company together.
I'm in Gilgamesh, Isa.
The new ones open that we get bonuses when we transfer. Ooh, actually
When
not
new ones
too
open,
sure.
we get bonuses when we transfer.
Hold that thought. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and we can talk more about this because I really want to actually play more with people on Final Fantasy.
Yeah, now go, piss boy.
I wanna be cute cat girl in F and get clothes.
Alright, who made me bald? God damn it, Chuba.
And dog. I need the dog.
Bald. It's in Dynamis right now. Those are the preferred worlds. You got bonus XP for joining those. I think Dynamis is the new data center on NA. Hang on, let's actually fucking check in game. Where is Final Fantasy? You like petting that smooth head, don't you, Chuba? My Booba Redeem gone. Cause I don't.
My Booba Redeem are gone.
Yeah, the Booba Redeem is not really working at the moment on this model, unfortunately. I want to slap that bald head. Honestly, I look at it and I kind of want to as well. I'll figure one out, Alora. Don't worry. One moment. One moment. All right, let's see what's available here. I have to make a new character, don't I? Am I muted? Am I muted?
Soaring. We are hovering above your head.
Nope.
Okay. Don't worry. Once my
I
hair
hear
and
you.
ears come back, you guys will be on top of my head again. Don't worry. Well, we have to go. Since Astra wants me to be... God damn it, Chuba! I'll go Lala. Doesn't matter. Sure. No. Sure. Sure. I'll be a pugilist. Select another.
I'm reinstalling now.
You actually are shit, dude. Hell yeah.
Potato.
Potato. Yeah, Dynamis is the new world here, or data center.
WELP now. ITSFF time. LOL.
I just wanted to check what worlds were available. If there are any left on Ether.
Zodprofen, Zodprofen, Zodprofen.
Yeah, all these worlds are congested. I can't make a new character anywhere on Ether. RIP.
Greedy.
Guys, I still don't have Gritty
Goose Greedy.
Goose. Come
Goose
on.
Goose Greedy.
Goose Greedy.
Goose Greedy. Goose Greedy. Goose Greedy.
There are ways to make healing
Goose
to make healing
Greedy.
easier on controller, but I only know like surface level stuff for it. Cause imagine fucking having to like heal on a raid with controller. I don't know how people do it. But yeah, unfortunately all the worlds on Ether are congested at the moment.
This will give me a chance to learn mouse and keyboard. Ella, well, love controller, but if I'm heals, then pump.
You've healed on controller? You're insane.
Grady goes, 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 Grady goes.
My god.
Why Goose? Greedy. IT's Greedy Goose.
But yeah, if we
I've done it.
we're gonna make a new character, it'll have to be on Crystal Dynamis or Primal.
I
And I
used
don't-
to be a little shit and play on my tablet, LMAO.
Not sure who else plays on these worlds other than Shan. I know Blink made a character to join us, but I don't know. Every time I come back, I'll play for like a couple days and then lose interest. But if I can get more people to join in, then hell yeah. I think our best bet would have to start in Dynamics just because these are preferred worlds. And we get the XP boost for it. Apparently I already had one. Lil. Was it level 3 Conjurer? What world was it in? Halicarnassus? Oh, yeah. I thought I wanted to make one here. Okay. Delete.
Apogee, shifty, apogee, apogee, papagee, apogee, papagee, apogee, pap.
I forget how to
Set
delete.
game Fefexive.
Fefexive. Delete. Lala.
Apogee.
No. Yes, yes. I mean, if I want insta-queues... that is correct.
I hope that's right.
It is right. You're good. Do I want to start in Gridania? Hmm. Maybe. I know Gridania is my favorite area,
love
but I've
Gridania.
started in Gridania so often. Fuck it, Black Mage again? No, I don't want to start in Ul'dah. Ul'dah's so fucking boring. But I really don't want to level Archer. Fine, I'll do healer. Fuck it.
Maybe EEP's time again before walk.
Maybe. What? How much time do you have left before?
Hate all.
Yeah, me too. I hate Ul'dah. So yeah, all the worlds in Dynamis are preferred. XP bonuses are currently granted to all new players created on this world. I don't know what world we'd want to be in. 4-ish hours before I gotta get up. Oh my god, Cookie.
Night Coco.
4 hours before I gotta get up.
You probably should get some sleep, dude. But yeah, I'm in no rush to... Because I do want to figure out my schedule. Because there was another game I did want to start playing as well. To replace Lies of P.
Are we all gonna be the same race?
We don't have to be. I think me and Ass are going to be Lalafels for the lulz. I genuinely...
School wizard, rest well.
I genuinely prefer being Bunny Boy. Oh, you want to see something just fucking disgusting, Alora? This is actually horrible. Let me log into my character here.
But you're a cat.
I know. Be a cat fucko? God damn it. Alright.
Be a tat fucko.
Alright, fine. I'll make myself on FF.
Sexy.
Is everyone gonna restart characters?
Maybe. But I'm gonna just look down, so this, cause like this is a spoiler, a bit of a spoiler of an area. But this is what I wanted to show Alora. This is my inventory. It's a little unorganized. I haven't organized this for like 3 expansions.
Oh god.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Phew.
I need all these things though. I need them all. Don't judge. Okay, you can judge, but not too harsh. Damn it. But yeah, I have everything at 100 except for Blue Mage.
45 to 2 hours a week and sword LOL.
Really? Well, you're gonna have to teach. God damn it, Chuba.
Before
Also with
sleeps,
DOH and DOL.
Is TTS and baby steps gonna happen tomorrow?
I don't know about baby steps, but TTS for sure.
Then I wish it could be a 100.
You'll get there in no time. As long as like you're having fun, it doesn't really matter. You don't want this game to turn into a second job. This is new. I don't know when they're releasing Beastmaster, actually. I'm pretty sure they said sometime in June? Question mark? But then that's another job I've got to level up.
Also redeem for Chat Cat head pads. Write a sticky note for later reference.
Oh, yeah, you're right, you're right. Cat head pets for chat. Thank you, Cookie. Cat head pets for chat. On my fucking monitor too, so I won't forget. Oh, speaking of, it's reset data day. Fuck!
O7JUDT, doing my duty for chat cat rights.
Oh, I used to run a cat girl, so I think I've shown Aster this, but some of my glamour plates still reflect that I was a cat girl. So some of them are very sus. So yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Fly.
I can explain this one. I can explain this one. I wanted to scare Cookie whenever she came in. I can explain. I wanted to.
Can you?
I'm a go.
No, you can't.
Oh.
Dubshot.
Bitch.
Peach. I'm sorry. Alright. But yeah, I'll figure out a data set for making just a day where I play Final Fantasy. I will try and my best and voice act it all. Oh, you don't have to,
I'll still
Alora.
play on my main.
If
but we'll
anything, like
run
you
my
can just
new
keep questioning on
channel
your
with you
own.
whenever you can stream it.
And then
Hey.
I'll probably just like DM you as like, can you help me with this dungeon, please?
Okay, good night. Everyone.
Good night,
Sleep
everyone. Sleep
well,
well, my
my
peeps, and
peeps.
hopefully cheese.
and hopefully cheese.
Thank you, Cookie. Sleep well,
Tea.
Cookie. You have Wednesday free? Dude, want to do it next week? I have Wednesday free. If you don't mind, yeah. If anything, I think Wednesday would probably be a very good day
will.
for it. If you all want to make a
Want to do it next week?
new character on Dynamis or something, that way, yeah, we get boosted XP.
I have
Wednesday
Wednesday,
next week,
free.
You guys just want to run ARR together?
I
How
have
make new
Wednesday
character?
next
You
week,
just
too.
swap your data center
How
to
make new chat?
Dynamis, because we'll probably make it there just so we have boosted XP. And then you start game, and then you should have a new character pop up there. Oh, the problem is I don't know how many characters you can make with the free trial account. It might be one character per data center, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, if anything, you could just delete your old one. I mean, you weren't too far in your old one, I believe. You did make that character in, I think, our world, Cookie. In Lamia. But yes, Wednesday next week, Final Fantasy, guys. We will be starting new characters. I guess I will be Catboy. I'm guessing Aster's gonna be Potato. I'm not sure what Alora's gonna be.
Google SA
8, one per world. Oh, nice.
Rampa World.
Hell yeah, Cookie. So yeah, you don't need to worry about deleting your old character then. We'll figure out a time on Wednesday. If it has to be earlier, then I can just wake up early. It's not a big deal. If anything, I'll probably get home and just not sleep. Fuck it. Yeah, I'll DM everyone and see like what times y'all are free. Drinks and AR are fun.
Drinks and are fun.
Depending on what time we start, sure. I do not want a day drink. And also depending on like my schedule for work.
Fair LOL.
LOL. Oh, one sec. That's so funny. I opened up my browser and I got a notification from fucking YouTube and it's Aster's fucking YouTube channel. I'm guessing he posted something new on his YouTube channel. Speaking of, shout out to Aster. Go check out his channel. Hope you had a good stream today, by the way, Aster.
This is it. That big cielo, I'd be down to drink for you. Sorry, drink you a sturdy moon.
Aster. He's so quick with it. Also, I'm over this fucking song. Oh shit, I just realized I forgot to change back my category. Whoops. I wasn't actually going to spend too much time. I just wanted to see like what actual worlds were available on... Ah! I forgot about this song. Shit. What the fuck is this song? Hmm? Baby, 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 baby. Oh my god, that's another game I've been meaning to play. I wanted to check out the Persona 3 remake. Fuck. So many games, so little time. That was an interesting slider. That actually hurts my eyes. Fuck. Hmm. Okay, bedtime. Must work tomorrow. Have a great rest of your stream. Love you. Aw, thank
Okay,
you, Alora.
bedtime for me must work tomorrow. Have a great rest of stream. Love
Thank
you,
you,
welcome,
Alora.
and 5 love.
You have a good sleep. Night night. Oh damn.
It's halfway done, BTW.
Halfway done, by the way. Oh, damn. I'm surprised. That client always downloads super fucking slow for me.
Let's rock this shit next week.
Hell yeah. I'm actually pretty excited for that. Because I do want to introduce a lot more new people to it. I know people are always hesitant to join it because people probably always hear that, oh, it's you got to pay a monthly sub and all that. But the fact that they did expand the free trial to include Shadowbringers is fucking insane to me. That is so much content. Sure, you can't like join FCs or, you know, make your own party and all that, but that's still pretty fucking cool that they do that. I also think it's not a typical MMO. Because 90% of it is like the main story. It's just gonna be such a slog trying to convince people to get through A Realm Reborn. Because that 1.0 was always such a slog. The story was... They were still trying to kind of find their footing. Plus the voice acting wasn't amazing in ARR. And it takes so long to get to Heaven's Ward. Heaven's Ward was like the big leap where like people like, you know what, this game actually fucking slaps. "90% of the time when somebody gets to Heaven's Ward, that's when they get hooked. The problem is a lot of people quit during ARR.
Whoever gets through ARR for us, I'll give them head.
That'll convince a lot of people, Aster. That'll convince so many people. But yeah, I think the big thing is we have to like promote that, yeah, you can just join in on the free trial. You don't have to pay anything. You can play for as long as you want. There's no time limit for it. You can play up to level 80. You can play all the classes on one character. You don't have to make a new one to do the other jobs. Like, fucking shill the shit out of that game. Hopefully we get fucking sponsored, dude. I don't like that sound. Oh. I heard a Windows notification go off. It was my fucking... It was a fucking browser notification. Thought it like ran out of memory again or some shit. I really need to fucking upgrade my PC. I really do. One day. Ah. Oh my god, my brain. Well, that was insane. It's so dark map. Ugh. Fucking tablet. I see it. It loses tracking of my pen. I wonder. I wonder what's wrong with it. Hope it's not the cable. If it's the cable, it's gonna suck. Nope. Oh my god, how many fucking maps are in here? I really want to try this map again. It's always that ending. That ending is fucking brutal. I do like this song. This song is a vibe. Oh god, not that one. Not after 1 hour of doing it in a row. Well, now that it's quieted down, I can probably get rid of TTS cat. Goodbye for now. Poor kitty. If that was like what will wake Cookie up, they'll fucking laugh. Here we go. I have ears again. I can hear again. It's a pretty fun map. I am definitely adding this to the collection. That was nuts. That was actually nuts. Oh god, not again. Oh my god, I can't read that. That's in about 3. Hmm. Ah! Well, now I can't hear anything, Twitch. Fuck.
An ad break is starting soon.
Fuck, I forgot to
Cerebro
turn off the actual... Nah, I forgot to turn off the actual speaker bot. Hmm. Fuck. Bruh, why do I keep missing on that one? Fuck. Those jumps are brutal. That's a rough one. I probably forgot about this map. Fuck. Ow. My horny bonk. What'd I do? What'd I do? I wasn't even being horny. I no longer wish to be horny. I only wish to be happy. Smoke break. How's Bloons going, by the way? How's Sky doing? Sky doing okay? How long has Sky been going on for now? Let me check. 14, nearly 15 hours. What a fucking champ. Good for them. Holy shit. What time is it? Oh, I still have time. Is Sky actually gonna go to bed tonight? Because goddamn. Possibly? Alright. Fuck. Yeah, yeah. I can't focus anymore. Oh well. Yeah, I'll probably be back on tomorrow. TTS and all that. Let's see. You're doing it? Yeah, I'm okay. Just a little tired. Is Sky gonna be going for much longer, or is she gonna pass out? Oh my god, I came in and she has 4:20 on the timer. Let's go. About half an hour. Ah, okay. I might just trade in the girls, maybe. Girls was nice enough to raid into me twice, so. Actually, how are we doing here? Never mind, I might just end. Yeah. Alright, thank you for coming in today, guys. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll try and start earlier, but we'll see. We'll see. Everyone have a good rest of your evenings, mornings, afternoons. I will catch you all guys later. Bye. Meow. Actually, fuck it. We're into Sky. Fuck it. We're into Sky. Fuck it. We bring more attention to Sky. Alright now, bye.